People wanted to see what was inside of Hollow's blue box. So this is the video for today. We'll just be going through the box and showing the things. So this first thing is a scarf that Parsifal made this past Christmas as a Christmas present. It used to be a skein of yarn that was all different shades of blue in layers, but now it's a scarf. This is a blue hat that the Acrylic Chasers made as a gift for us, for Hollow specifically, because it's the perfect shade. Then there's another hat with ears. This was the first hat that Hollow liked the best, but the ears are kind of funny. They look kind of silly, so this hat is better because it doesn't have ears. And then there's a bar of 90% dark chocolate and a bar of 100% dark chocolate and another 90%. These are the best. They taste like dirt, and that's good. And then there's this dragon that our sister didn't want to use anymore, so Hollow took it. And then there is this bandana with fish scales, and it has different blues on it, so it's nice. But then there's also a red fish, but that's okay. And then there's a plastic dragon we found in the closet. Dante left it in the blue box, and Hollow thought that was very nice. Then there's these gloves that Lucas gave to us. He's a friend in Portland and is really nice. Then there's a fish scale scarf. It's not the perfect shade of blue, but it's pretty close. Then there's blue sparkly yarn. The camera makes it look more black. It's blue, or at least the sparkles are blue. And then there are some little bottles that we got just by luck from one of the stores in town, and they're the perfect shade. This one we took from Alex because Alex was going to recycle it, but it's perfect. And then there's this painting. We found it in the art department and nobody wanted it anymore, but it's so pretty. Then there's this ring, and if you press a button it lights up, and the first color it turns is blue usually, and it goes through the rainbow, but then it goes back to blue, and that's nice. And then there's this hat we found at a clothing exchange. It's not completely blue, but it has stripes of the blue. And then there's this hat that was a Christmas present year before last, I think. It has ears and cat whiskers, and the ears are fuzzy. Shantae gave this to Hollow as a Christmas present, and that was really nice. Shantae is from the Acrylic Chaser system, and Shantae wrapped it in this, which is blue paper. Hollow's name on it, and Hollow thought that the package was the gift and not the thing that was inside the paper. Shantae had to open it because Hollow didn't want to ruin this nice paper. It's shiny, so it stays in the box. Then there's another gift from Shantae, and it's a bottle, and it sparkles, which is really fun to look at. It looks like outer space, but in the ocean. And then there's this pin that we found at a convention at KimuraCon when we went one year. And it's really shiny, and it has a moon and a tree, and it's blue. And then there's 3 small things of 86% dark. And then there is this dark chocolate that somebody gave us, and it's from Trader Joe's, and it's kind of old, but it's still pretty good. And then there's these headphones. Hollow probably wasn't supposed to steal these, but they're blue, and they're really nice. And everyone forgets that we have these, but they're still being kept safe, so it's okay. Then there's this car that we found on the road, or a sidewalk, or something like that. It's still shiny, and even though it's scratched, it's still blue. Oh, and then there's this. This was a piece of medical tape from when we got blood drawn last. It's the perfect shade. It's nice. And the last thing in the box right now is these. When we were going through stuff with our grandma at her house, we found these. And there were 2 pairs. So we gave one of the acrylic chasers and kept one. But if you put them on, it makes everything blue and darker, and it makes everything better because it's all blue and it's nice. And then the last thing, it's usually in the box, but I wanted to plug it in. It's a lava lamp. We found this when we were working at Target, and since most things in the box are things that Hollow has found and collected over the times, people let Hollow buy it because we were working at the time and had extra money. So that was really nice, and it's fun to look at after it warms up, even though it takes a while to warm up. It's still good. And it's a little bit more purple than blue, but there's still a lot of blue, so it's good. That's everything that was in the box. This box is something that we had left over from our closet because we used to organize things by this box in the closet. Jake left Hollow a note. It says, Hollow, show them this. This is something that Jake made. It's called a snood, which is an ugly word, but it's not an ugly thing. You put it over your head and onto your neck. And it's a scarf, but small and compact, and you can pull it over your face if your face gets cold. And sometimes it stays. So if you live where it's cold, these would be nice. And this one, if anybody's seen the DID ribbon, these are all the colors. We found good yarn for that. And these are going to start being on the shop too. So if you don't want a really long scarf and want something to keep your neck warm, these are good. Okay, that's all. Hollow keeps eyeballing my shirt like every time he's around, like when I'm fronting, because like it's basically the perfect shade, although I claimed this thing like forever ago. So in short, this video here was kind of about how we allow our altars to have like possessions and stuff, because when you have so many freaking altars, you end up with a lot of weird stuff. Some things are just found on the road. Like a couple of times we saw Hollow picking up gum wrappers off the ground because they were the perfect shade of blue. And we were just like, baby, no. That's dirty. That's from the ground. But while some people might think we spoil altars and stuff, a lot of those things that Hollow collects are just things that nobody wanted anymore and wouldn't miss if they were gone. And I think that's honestly pretty cool and pretty respectable. Like, we only spent money on a couple things in there, like the chocolate, the lava lamp, and like a hat or something. So I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, we're gonna go into more detail on how we stay organized and what our like closet and wardrobe looks like, considering that we have so many in the system at this point. So stay tuned for a video on how we manage to stay organized with what is it, like 116 altars at this point. All right, peace out, guys. The hair is blue too. Hollow just saw it. It's fading to purple, but there's still some blue.